This is Car Guys Talk with Andrew and Tavarish.
Hey everyone, how are you? I keep on asking that, but nobody responds because we're looking at a camera. That's the nature of our show. This is the Car Guys Talk show podcast. My name is Freddie. You may know me as Tavarish if you're on the internet and you're looking for Tavarish. And next to me, that guy right there, that big old black shirt wearing boy is Andrew Howell.
Yeah, we're back.
So, like a lot of cars in the Northeast, we are a little bit rusty. So this is the first podcast that we've had in 2019.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Happy New Year, Andrew.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And Merry Christmas. And
don't you dare bring that in my house. Anyway, we did a lot of stuff between our last podcast and now, and we're going to be talking about all that sort of lots of stuff.
Yes.
So, yes. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I have had my energy drink, my energy beverage.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a few sips of agua.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to use my mouth to make words.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, for those of you who are just joining us, who are new, we actually did get a lot of new subscribers in the interim, which is really cool. And if you guys don't know, we do a podcast, and maybe you should go check out some of the previous episodes. We talk about a lot of car stuff. This is just us talking about stuff we like with cars, stuff we don't like, just regular car stuff. Not regular car stuff, but just anyway, not Mr. Regular. But
we're off to a strong start.
Very strong start. So this year, I made international headlines by getting another Lamborghini, which surprised absolutely no one.
Yes.
Yes. And the story of getting that car was actually quite interesting because we had to, me and you, we went across the country and got it.
We did went across the whole country.
We did went across
the whole thing.
the whole thing and back. So today we're going to be talking about that. There's a lot to talk about there. But first, our sponsor is water. Okay, now we got that out of the way.
You got my hopes up. Like, we had a sponsor.
Yeah.
Man,
our sponsor is socks. Everybody go wear some socks. They keep your feet warm, and sometimes when they get sweaty, you could just take off the socks and your feet ain't so sweaty. So
how would you know? You rarely wear socks.
We can cut this sponsorship.
I called you out.
We need
got him.
We're never going to have that sponsorship again. So,
rats. We've lost out on literally nothing.
Literally tens of dollars. So when I got the call, actually let's preface this. I got a call from
ring.
Hello, it's Opportunity.
Hi, my name is Edward Bolian, and I am from a YouTube channel called VinWiki. I have found a Lamborghini I think you may be interested in purchasing. Would you like to know more?
Yes, I would like to know more. Please do go on, sir.
This is an orange Lamborghini Murcielago. It was used in the Fast and Furious movie number 8 called Fate of the Furious. Would you like to buy this Lamborghini?
How much is that Lamborghini?
It is $80,000 US.
That is a lot of money, sir. I don't know if I can make that work.
It is okay. You are rolling in the YouTube money.
I am rolling in the views. and you are favorable in the algorithm.
And so the journey began.
Yeah, and so the journey began. So Ed Bolian from VinWiki called me, and he said...
We've already covered this.
Yes, but for those of you who don't understand robot speak and didn't realize that was an actual exchange that we had, Ed Bolian from VinWiki called me, and he said, hey, do you want another Lamborghini? And I said, well, you know...
Okay.
Yeah, okay. But not real. I mean, I didn't have any sort of money for a Lamborghini. I just bought Ferrari and Bentley and all these other cars. And a Viper, and I had the Viper at the time. So there was no real opportunity for me to buy a really expensive car. This was like $80,000. But Ed said that it was the screen used car in Fate of the Furious, in the last Fast and Furious. The movie that I am repping right now. I never usually do this, but you know, since you got to have some swag for
some swag.
Yeah, some swag. So when he told me this, it was just like I have to make this work. And the original idea, it was that Ed was going to buy the car and then do some videos with it. And then I was going to buy the car from Ed because I didn't have anywhere near $80,000 at that point. But then Ed kind of strung the guy along a little bit for about a month, just to kind of feel him out, see if he can, because Ed is a very shrewd negotiator. You know, just because the car is $80,000, Ed was not going to pay $80,000. No. So Ed got the car. He was going to pay less money for the car. But then Ed bought a house, which we actually went to later on, which is not a house, it's a castle. It's just he has a woods in his house. He has a whole woods.
And 100-acre wood.
Yes. He has a very, very nice estate. So he was not in a position to buy that car. So Ed said, I'll give the reins over to you and do with it what you wish. So I said, great. I still don't have the money. So I had to do a fire sale. And well, knowing my sort of cars is an
actual fire sale.
Yeah, an actual fire sale.
Yeah.
So I sold my Viper for basically what I got it for minus $2,000. Which is breaking even for me.
Which is not what you got it for.
No, not what I got it for.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
I bought a Viper for $15,000 and then spent $2,000 on the parts. So I sold it for $15,000.
You sold it?
I sold it for two. Yeah, I sold it real good. For $15,000 plus those $2,000 worth of parts thrown in because I'm such a nice guy.
I do miss that car.
I do too. I think it could have been fun, but this car is a little more fun.
I agree.
So that was the deposit. And when I talked to the guy who was selling the car, which was actually the person who made, he was like the head of the shop that made all the cars for all the movies for the Fast series, basically all the Universal cars, like all the really famous Universal cars, they make them at that shop, which is awesome. So I got in touch with him and I said, I'll give you $80,000. I just agreed to that. Had no idea how to make up that money, really. Like I just said, I'll do it and I'll give you $15,000 as a deposit, but I have to give you this money in a certain amount of time. You know, I said I don't have it right now, but when you have $15,000, you know, in the account and you're like, here you go, that usually sweetens the deal. Plus, I gave him his asking price. So I didn't want him to sell it out from under me because even though it wasn't really for sale out anywhere, it was, the second somebody realizes like, hey, there's a manual Murcielago for $80,000, which is less than half of what they're going for, people are going to snatch it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't want him doing that. So everything worked out, and I ended up, scrimping and saving and just kind of living on ramen noodles. And
it's hard out here for a scrimp.
It's hard out here for a scrimp. What is a scrimp? Is that a shrimp? Is that a shrimp?
It is, yeah, it is.
Okay, well...
It's hard out here for a shrimp.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Andrew.
Rock lobster.
So then got the money together, and we ended up going... we had to go to LA to get the car.
We do?
Well, we don't anymore. We did it already. Remember?
Right. Okay, sorry.
Remember when we went to get the car and then came back?
Do you remember that one time we went to Los Angeles and we bought a Lamborghini?
Remember when we got the car?
Remember that one time?
Remember that one time?
Pepe Farm, remember?
So we had to... It was a big trip. It was the most I've ever driven in a car. Like,
well, it wasn't a car.
It was
a truck.
It was a truck. So I got my truck, my 270,000 mile Ford F-350 dually, and I got in touch with a guy in Dallas. He was a viewer, and he said, "Hey, I have a trailer for you guys, and it's totally free. It's a car trailer." And I said, "Perfect.
Perfect.
Yes,
this is perfect."
So it was on our way, and we can pick up the trailer. We could spend a day in the Dallas area, and then just take the trailer, go to LA, pick up the car, drive back. That was the plan. Did the plan go according to plan?
No,
it did not.
But we did have a great time in Dallas.
We did have a great time in Dallas.
So these guys,
yes,
they have a YouTube channel called Zero to Awesome.
Yes,
it is super like grassroots, homegrown kind of DIY YouTube channel. It's a lot of fun. They have great senses of humor.
Yeah.
We made a couple of videos with them. The interview they did, seriously, is one of the cleverest interviews.
It was very good.
It was awesome. We had a great time.
Yeah, so they did an interview in the style of like Between Two Ferns, that sort of thing. Very dry comedy, but it was very. You can tell that they
put some planning into
they
that.
they definitely put some planning in
Yeah.
it. More planning than we ever do.
Yeah.
On anything.
Yeah.
So when we went over there, we went to their place in Dallas, which is really nice. Just a beautiful house and all these new houses. By the way, quick aside, I didn't know how many houses there were in Dallas.
So we were getting off of the interstate, headed to the Zero to Awesome headquarters, and we came up upon an exit ramp that went over the highway, and there was a road that went down on either side. And off in the distance was I think it was the Fort Worth skyline.
Yeah.
And we looked out and we're just like, look at this barren brown wasteland.
There's nothing here. I don't know why people say that there's a lot of
We realized very quickly that instead of a barren brown wasteland, we were instead just staring at roofs.
Yes, lots and lots of tops of houses.
As far as the eye could see.
You couldn't see any ground.
No.
And then you're like, oh, there's 100,000 suburban houses here.
It was incredible.
Yeah. So I've never seen that before in my life. And I was like, oh, this is insane. This is crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
So we went to go chill with those guys, and they had a really nice 1955 Chevy Bel Air.
They just made a video on it recently. So one of the two, there are two guys with Zero to Awesome. The names, help me. The names.
Oh, this is horrible. See, you screwed yourself up. I wasn't even going to mention that because my aptitude for names is zero.
Seriously,
it is absolutely zero.
Listen, Frank, I'm trying to remember these names. Give me a second.
Listen, Anderson.
Alan.
Yes.
And no, no, they're gonna watch this.
They are gonna watch this. No, my brain
Seriously.
is frazzled. Right, I'm gonna give you so many excuses why I don't remember these guys' names.
Yeah, it's just nothing but excuses.
Yes.
And like we're gonna gloss over the fact that we're just bad people.
Yes, no. I will never gloss over that fact. I'm a truly bad person. But okay.
Anyhow,
go give them a super subscribe.
Yes,
like subscribe 3 times, not twice. That unsubscribes you. No. But
can we restart this podcast?
you brought up the names.
I know.
You screwed yourself, and you're like, oh, the names I can't. I'm like, stop. Just don't talk about names. Okay.
Anyhow, so they made a video. They've made a video on the car recently. Go check it out. It's making the car. They're prepping the car because they want to be able to put a baby seat in the back, and so they install like some seatbelts and stuff in this car. The car is mint. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it was a great car. I didn't notice how well. I never knew how light those cars were. They're only like 3,000 something pounds, like 3,100. When you look at those, they're you think they're built with iron and real Detroit steel, all that stuff.
I don't use tires. I use concrete.
Right. But it actually is quite light, and it's not bad at all. I think he had like a little 350 Chevy in it, and it drove fine. I mean, drove like an old car, but it drove fine. So we get there, and we see the trailer, and the trailer is painted black. And on the side is my face. Well, my cartoon face. It's a vinyl sticker of my logo, my channel logo. And on the side of the thing, it just says, "Here comes Tavarish." So I can imagine what this is going to look like. Me driving, across the country with this orange Lamborghini, and then this thing just says, "Here comes Tavarish," which is, I don't want to attract attention on a good day. This attracts all the worst kinds of attention. So what I'm going to, what I was thinking is, okay, as soon as we leave, we can take off the stickers.
Hold on. Here comes Tavarish.
Okay.
Oh god.
That was Thomas the Tank Engine bass boosted?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm sure glad we kept on doing this, Andrew. I am so relieved. I missed this. Help. So we got the trailer, and we realized that the trailer, we tried to bleed the brakes and all that stuff, and the brakes just
We're dead.
the brakes wouldn't bleed, and we realized that that's because brakes don't bleed when you have a hole in them.
Well, they do. They just bleed out.
They bleed out. Yeah, they don't work.
They bleed out all they blood.
Yeah. All the blood.
All the blood.
All the blood goes out on the floor. But I ended up getting new tires, which we will talk about in about a minute when they become relevant again.
Yes.
I got new tires from a Discount Auto. They're like some
Discount Tire.
Discount tire.
This episode not sponsored by Discount Tire.
But it could be. Hit me up. Discount.
iWrencheveryday at gmail.com.
There we go. Also, sponsored by Tables. Tables, when you want to put your elbows on something.
Put the things on things and stuff.
That's right. Tables.
Here it is. Look, hey, check this out.
Go to tables.com/rentseveryday to get a table. So then we hit the road, and now comes the part where I talk about the tires. So we're driving.
We hit the road, and then the road hit back.
The road hit back real hard. So we were jamming out like we do.
Yes.
We were listening to what were we listening to?
I think at that point we were actually listening to Opeth.
No, I don't think we were. I think we were listening to something else. It was definitely heavy, but it wasn't Opeth. I love the dead air. So we were listening to some sort of black metal. And
we were listening to Dimmu Borgir.
Yeah. So there we go.
It was.
So you can remember that. You
Yes.
just can't remember the names of the people that gave us this, thousands of dollars of equipment. Thank you.
Alan and it'll come to me.
It will after the podcast.
Yeah. And so anyway,
Anyway, so we're listening to this black metal, and all of a sudden there came this really hard
Bang!
bass hit, like just the deepest of the deep, like poof, like that.
and I was like, I don't remember that in the song.
That wasn't in the song.
The speakers in this truck aren't that good.
Yeah. So then I said, okay, let's pull over. Let's just check it out.
Yeah.
We went over to a rest stop. Everything. No. We went over
just pulled over
to the side of the road, and we saw some Texas stuff on the side of the road.
We just saw some Texas.
Yeah, some Texas. There's like a school bus painted
rainbow colors.
Yeah, rainbow color school bus, and just
Off in the distance, in the field somewhere.
meth may be involved at some point.
Sure.
So we checked the trailer.
Here comes the meth bus.
Here it comes. Dun, 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 dun. So we checked the trailer, and everything seemed like it was okay.
Yeah, it seemed fine.
Kick the tires.
Lit the fires.
Well, I didn't light any fires, but we kicked the tires, and I was fine. So we
Light
got back on the road, and then I looked in the rearview mirror, and I saw that one of the tires on the trailer was just real wobbly, like it was very off. It was approaching concerning. So I said, okay, we got to
approaching conservatism.
Yeah. Yes. So this was the Ben Shapiro of tires. That doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
No, that didn't make. Okay, not all of them can be great. Okay, sometimes you have to.
You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so
we get off at the exit
rest area,
and then I give the tires a twice over because my once over sucked.
And then we see that one of the fenders over the tires.
Yeah, it's bent. It's bent real good, and some of the paint was coming off. I'm like, oh, something happened here. So then I pushed in the tire a little bit, more than a little kick I gave it, and I said, oh, there's no bead on this tire anymore. Yeah, the bead was gone. So the bead exploded, and we found that out. Well, that was a tire that the Discount Tire had a problem with because they said we have some Heartland tires, which I've never heard of in my life. Maybe they're really good tires in the trailer world, but I've never heard of that brand. But they had 4 tires in that size, and they didn't have any better ones. So
well, they did. You just didn't want to buy them.
That's not true at all. I would have bought the better tires. They only had the one Goodyear. Remember, that's the one that we got.
We got that as the spare.
Yeah, we got that as spare. They didn't have 4. They only had 1. And they had 5 Heartlands. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We were sitting in the.
I'm not about to cheap out on tires. Drag a Lamborghini is like, I don't know.
Oh, is that what? It was a Lamborghini?
It was. It was. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Dude,
Just in case anyone forgot.
I bought a Lamborghini. Did you know that?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
You bought lasagna?
Yeah. So we got these Heartland tires, and one of them blew up. And then we go to the next discount tire, which is very appropriately just in the next town.
It was Adelaide. Addendum. Albert.
Okay. It was in Albert, Texas.
Allen.
It was in Allen, Texas.
Allen.
Allen. And we ended up spending the entire day just getting tires for not only the trailer. We had to get new tires for the trailer, the spare for the trailer, and also I got a new spare for the truck.
Abilene,
Texas. And we spent some time there. We went to Chick-fil-A and just looked at the basic layout of Abilene, which is not much. But we ended up that was our short day.
Yeah.
That was our short day.
So it was fine. We dropped the trailer off, got the tires put on, all 5 wheels, went to Chick-fil-A.
So at this point, I'm into this trailer about $1,000.
And at this point, I'm full of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, yeah. But, I was on the way to LA, and I was going to get my Lambo, and everything was going to be great. So after
The tire incident.
After the tire incident, nothing really happened.
No, we made it all the way to Las Cruces.
Yeah, we made it to Las Cruces, and then from there, we saw the wall.
Well, it wasn't really a wall. It was like a fence.
Don't get political. This is not a political podcast, Andrew. Okay?
Yeah, I'm saying it wasn't really a wall. It was a fence.
It just got 10 feet taller.
That was actually really interesting to see.
Oh, yeah. So we went through El Paso, and we were there like midnight.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see where the lights were and like how it lit up and everything. And you can see like this dark spot, which is where the border was. And then you can just see lights and like, over there's Mexico. That's another country. And then you see some cars with Mexican plates on them. And that was kind of cool.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah. But we got real close to the border. Yeah. I mean, that's we saw it. Yep. And that's about it. Also in El Paso, there's like a really big star just like floating.
Yeah, big floating light star.
Yeah, in the sky, and it's huge.
It was dizzying.
Yeah, it was dizzying. But I don't know what that's about. They're really about their Lone Star.
If you're from El Paso and you know anything about the flying star, lie to us about it and make it seem really cool.
Yeah. Just make up whatever story you can about that star, and then we can read it and have a good old jolly laugh.
A guffaw.
Yeah. So we went to Las Cruces. That was in New Mexico. Then from
the
there,
hotel we stayed at in Las Cruces was awesome.
it was like a Casa Bonita, basically.
It was so cool.
Yeah. It was like
And
this.
delicious omelet for breakfast.
Yes.
But I can't remember the other guy's name from Zero to Awesome.
No.
But I remember that omelet.
If you're ever in the position to give us a trailer, make sure you're an omelet. So that's that. Those are your rules, not mine. Okay. Alan and omelet. So then we went to LA. We did a bunch of stuff in LA as well. We did a bunch of stuff with some LA YouTubers.
Yep.
Which is awesome. But the first thing we did was we got to our hotel and then we got a car.
We did got a car.
Yeah, we got a.
If you have watched this channel, you already know what car it is. Spoiler alert. It's a Honda Civic Type R.
How was it? Because I didn't get to drive it at all, and I was.
Yeah, you did. You drove it a little bit.
I drove like 10%.
No.
And then you were like, okay, we're gonna fight now.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Mommy and Daddy are fighting.
I'm Daddy.
Daddy and Daddy are fighting.
Ooh, double Daddy.
Yeah. Daddy and Zaddy are fighting.
I'm Zaddy.
Okay. This is going down a deep, dark path, and I think I like it. So, you drove this car for a video.
Yes.
I was supposed to also drive it for a video, but
You went off and did Paul Newman things.
No, that wasn't. I would have liked to drive it, but it was you were hogging it. you hog the car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
because you got to drive the truck all the way across the country. So
Oh, I got to.
Yeah.
I got to.
So I wanted to do a little driving also.
Fun fact. I drove the cross. I drove the truck across the country and back myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because Andrew was not. What was your excuse? What was
It's not really an excuse. It's just
okay. Tell me what you're gonna tell. Say what you're gonna say, and then that will be the textbook definition of an excuse.
say what you need to say.
Say what you're gonna say.
So I did drive for about an hour and a half in the truck.
Yeah, the first day.
Yeah, yes, but it was difficult for me. I couldn't keep the thing in a straight line. It's just I'm not used to driving the truck. I'm not used to driving it. It's a big truck. I'm used to driving Focuses and like RX-7s and stuff, smaller Mini Coopers.
Yes.
It just I couldn't keep the thing in a straight line. I just sucked at driving it. And then you got back and you're like, yeah, I'll just drive the whole way. It's not a problem. So I don't know why you're complaining. You literally told me it's not a problem. I'll just drive the whole way. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I'll.
You know when if you're in a restaurant and they bring out the food.
Yes.
And then the food is like it's dry or they forgot something. But then the server comes out and you can be in the middle of complaining about the food to whoever you're with, and the server comes out. How is everything, guys? Oh, it's so good. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Yeah, it's no problem. Oh, I only have to drive for another 80 hours. Woo! Let me tell you how good that feels. So
I just you are comfortable with driving the truck. I've also never driven any. Hold on,
Andrew,
I've never driven anything.
It's not that I'm comfortable. It's just we needed to get there. There's no other option. It's either you or me. And if it's not gonna be you, it has to be me, right?
Well, yeah, but like if I drove it, the chances of us having an accident are increased exponentially. I've also never driven a vehicle that towing a trailer. I've never driven anything with a trailer on it before. I've never done it.
Yes.
And so I feel like driving your truck with a Lambo behind it is not the best time to learn.
No, granted, that's probably not the best time to learn. But it's also not the worst time. I mean, there's a lot of times where when's the first time you drove stick? Was it like in the perfect conditions, or was it like, well, you're in Florida, so there's no hills, but was it in a condition where people were honking at you or something like that, and you had to kind of learn to
trial by fire?
Yeah, trial by fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean that could have been a thing.
Yeah, but
I didn't want to. So
you had a Lambo in the back of the truck. You spent a lot of money on it. I don't want to mess it up for you.
That's okay. Fine.
Sorry for being polite and thinking of others.
Sorry, I care too much. Okay.
You're trying to make me seem like a bad person.
No. You're already a bad person because you can't remember Omelet's name.
You can't either. So
I can't. His name is Omelet. So
don't egg me on, bro. I'm not even yoking right now. What the shell were you thinking, bro?
You're gonna pepper in all those little puns there,
dude.
Okay.
There's no need to verbally assault me with that.
How you guys doing? Good.
Bacon.
You all right? Okay. All right. Remember to subscribe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So do that
and click that notification bell to be part of the notification team.
You sounded like you were about to say some racial slurs. So click that notification square. And we're demonetized. So now we get to LA. Essentially you got a Honda Civic Type R.
Yes.
To drive around.
Yes.
And I had the truck to drive around, which is the best in LA. Let me tell you about the best cars to drive in Los Angeles.
On the way into LA, we learned that the roads there are garbage.
That's in California, the whole thing.
Yeah. So
the
roads, the highways in California, specifically in the LA, all the way from San Diego to Los Angeles,
to LA, yeah.
There are humps in the road.
Yeah, about
undulations.
Yeah.
Every, what'd you say, 18 feet or so?
Yeah. How long is a F-350 truck? Because that's exactly how long they are.
It was spaced out just so that the entire time we were driving on the highways, the truck was
and it was getting to such a resonance where it was just like the entire travel of the suspension was going up and down.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's socialism. Doesn't work.
It doesn't
not. Doesn't work, man.
all their taxes and all their. Well, San Diego looked kind of nice from.
All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put the California freeways back together again.
Doug DeMuro loves it though. He's a weird one. We'll talk about
it's no Nantucket, but
I spent the day with Doug DeMuro, and we'll get to that in a later episode.
Yeah.
But he's an odd duckling. That guy, really cool, really awesome dude, but odd.
He's really cool, but man, does he suck?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't suck, but he's just real weird. So,
I mean, you're not normal either.
No,
I'm
not. But we seem very, very well adjusted.
Let he who is without sin cast the first stone.
I'm perfect.
So yeah, we got the type R. We're really good at this whole storytelling thing. We got the type R, and then the first day, we wake up, grab a little makeup, let the keys up on the table.
Okay.
And there we go, creating another fable. We go to this magical place called the Porsche Experience Center, LA, or PECLA for short.
Yeah, so we did a cars and coffee.
Porsches and pastries.
And paninis. We didn't have paninis. Porsches and
people.
Porsches and people. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah, the three Ps. Porsches, people, and
Power Rangers.
And it was raining, but there was a lot of really cool cars there. We met up with Matt Farah. We met up with a lot of you guys. So we made an announcement on Instagram and said hi to a bunch of people, and just chatted up a bunch of people. And you got to meet Mike Brewer.
We both got to meet Mike Brewer.
Yeah, but you got to talk to him and stuff.
Yeah,
I just said hey, hi, and then you were like, hey, we have a YouTube channel called Wrench Every Day. You should subscribe. And I'm like, yeah, you should do that. Yeah. So
and then he was like, he totally was into it. And then before he left, he found me and he's like, hey, remind me, what's the name of that YouTube channel?
So we can send you a cease and desist for copying the Wheeler Dealers
and
format.
then he was like, he turned to his, I think it was his daughter that was with him. He's like, remember that, Wrench Every Day. I want to make sure to subscribe when I get home. So
she wasn't his daughter. It was just like a random person. Hey, remember that? Like, who are you? What's going on here?
Hold out your end.
What's going on?
You've just bought yourself a cracking motor. Ta-da.
Sir, sir, this is a Wendy's drive-through.
Sorry, car machine broke.
Are you the guy?
So that was really cool. So we met Matt Farah. We met
Parker Kligerman.
Yep.
He was a race car driver. JF Musial
was there.
Jeff Zwart was there.
Yep.
We can remember all those people.
But Alan and Omelet, let me tell you.
God, man. Okay. Okay. So who else was there?
Met my boy Brian, my boy off Instagram.
Okay. Well, there you go. Your boy Brian.
Shout out to Brian.
Also met up with some ex-Michelin guys. Johnny Valencia. Also Amy Shackelford. She was there. This is a lot of inside baseball stuff right now. You guys probably don't care, but. After that, what do? We did the podcast that day, right?
We did Smoking Tire podcast after that.
Yeah, you guys should go check that out. We were talking with Matt and Zach Clapman. Oh, speaking of the other Smoking Tire guys were there.
Alan and Omelet.
Alan and Omelet were there. They're here in our hearts. No, Thaddeus was there. He was part of Smoking Tire. And I don't know, somebody else. So we did the Smoking Tire podcast. Then after that, what did we do?
We went to food with Matt Farah.
Oh, okay, yes, we did go to food with Matt Farah. But then can we talk about this? Can we talk about what happened after food? Or should we?
Oh yeah, no, we were in California.
No, I know, but like
I don't care.
This is well, okay. Well, maybe some people out there, if you are triggered by the partaking of legal substances
in
California, then maybe you should listen to the story because it's actually pretty good. So, so I, as far as takes on weed, I don't smoke. I've never smoked. I don't drink, and it's not because I'm Mormon, which I'm not. But it's I don't know. I just
interesting. Yeah.
I have enough vices, and I'm addicted to buying cars. I don't need to be addicted to anything else.
Well, I don't have enough money to be addicted to buying cars.
That's actually a good thing to do.
I want to be on that level.
Don't be on that level because that's a very expensive level to be at.
So after the Porsche thing, we actually went to Matt's house and we saw his Countach.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. I like how this is all just coming to us.
Yeah, because it's so like a whole bunch happened. You know how it is.
Yeah. You know how you see a bunch of people with these Lamborghinis. You meet a bunch of famous people and you shake hands, and then they say, "Hey, what's going on?" And then you go like, "Hey, I like your stuff," and they're like, "Yeah, who are you again?" And so, so we went to Matt's house and we saw his very nice Countach.
Probably one of the nicest I've ever seen.
I think it's one of the only ones I've ever seen.
Oh, I've seen quite a few, but that one, specifically, that car is in great shape. The interior, for me, was just like, that's the nicest Countach interior I've ever seen.
So when it comes to Countach interiors, like they're not very nice. No, they
weren't known for their interior build quality.
They're very boxy, and everything is covered in leather. It's like we just cover everything in leather. That's how you know it's nice.
Yep.
But that's it's Matt didn't even know that he had a glove box for a while in that car. But apparently that car has a glove box. So I sat in that car and my head was just grazing the headliner. And Matt's a little bit taller than I am, so I don't know how he fit in that car at all. But it sounded pretty good. He had it started up. I put a little video on my Instagram and it sounded great. It was nice and quiet. We didn't get to drive it because it was raining. But maybe at some point, we can go out for a drive. I don't know if I'd ever want to buy one of those cars.
If I'm going to buy an old Lambo, it's going to be a Yalpa.
A Yalpa. So the Yalpa is, for those of you who don't know, that is like one of the, it's sort of the Gallardo of the 80s.
Well, yeah, but so the Countach is to the Mercy, the Yalpa is to the Gallardo. People just call it the baby Countach. It's a V8 mid-mounted.
Well, it's the Gallardo of the 80s because that's the small Lamborghini.
Right.
So let me just
give me that white one.
Okay. This one.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, great. There's another one down below it. Or the red one, that's fine too.
Yeah,
that's just an awesome looking car. It's just ridiculous.
There's a lot of the Countach styling design language in this.
She got the hip, she got the nose, she got the spoiler.
So I was just at an auction and they had one of these and they were projecting like 80 to 100 grand, which is not horrible for a gated manual vintage Lamborghini. It does have like a weird 3.5 liter V8.
Yeah, I think it's really cool though.
It is, but it doesn't make a ton of power. It's
I don't care
250 horsepower maybe.
Whatever, dude.
So
that white one, dude.
Oh, look at this! Look at this big.
Yeah, boy.
Look at this hunk of man right here. Okay, so these are pretty cool. I'm not sure if they're gonna go up a lot in price,
which is good for me.
Yeah, it is. But I'm not sure that they're the best driving. Like the Countach is cramped. I can't imagine how cramped this thing is. This thing is just smaller.
If Doug can drive it, then I know I can.
I'm not sure Doug drove it that. Okay, well,
I've seen the video.
Yeah, but if you can drive it for one video, doesn't mean that it's to be driven, Okay, so that's the car you would get. But we spent some time with Matt's Countach, and then we did the podcast, and then we had some food, and then you got some drugs.
Yes, legal drugs in California.
Okay, so you tell the story now.
Sure, yeah. So we were at the hotel, and I was like, "Dude, we're in California." I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not like a huge pothead.
Here we go.
I'm not. I literally started smoking marijuana like 6 months ago. I'm 30. I was 30 the first time I tried pot. I was just like, whatever. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. Okay, go ahead. I'm just judging you very, very harshly.
Sure.
Extremely harshly.
It's fine. I don't care. So I was like, it was like 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, dude, we're in California. I want to go to a dispensary. It's something I want to experience that.
Weirdly, there aren't that many dispensaries close early there.
Most of them do.
We found one that was
so
it was funny.
So we went to this kind of downtown area, and there was a theater. Hannibal Buress was doing a stand up there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of a crowded downtown area. At this point it was like 10:30 at night, I think. It was pretty late. And we hunt around and try and find this place. It turns out it was in a back alley.
Yeah.
down some stairs, basically literally underground almost.
Yeah.
We approach the entrance to the dispensary, and there is an older man sitting outside in a Ford Escape in basically a security guard costume.
It was a very poorly fitting, looked like a poorly fitting Halloween costume.
Yes. And we walk up, and he gets out of the truck, or he gets out of the Escape, and he's like, "Looks like you guys are on a mission." I'm like, "Yeah, we're just gonna go check out the dispensary." And he's like, "All right, yeah, come on down." So we go down the stairs and get to the door. And as we're like walking down the stairs, he's still in the parking lot, and he's yelling he's like, "Normalcy is the disease, and weed is the cure." And it's like this is real life Grand Theft Auto 5.
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, this is an NPC from Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
this is
Grand Theft Auto is based 100% on reality.
Yeah.
Nothing is fake in GTA 5 at this point. It's 100% real.
It's like, no way that person is real. Like you look back and he's just glitching.
He's just like walking in place, like trying to get into the car, like can't get in the car.
He just does this.
So we walk into the dispensary, and there's a waiting room. You have to sign in, show your driver's license before you can go in. And so Freddie, being the good little Mormon boy he is, he just takes a seat in the lobby. I can tell he's very uneasy. He's not very comfortable. So I just want to go in, do the thing, and leave.
I was totally fine.
No, you weren't. You were definitely not.
I was totally fine.
No.
I was just sitting there checking my phone. It was fine.
No, you were not. Your body language
I was
said
like,
otherwise. Yeah, drugs.
No.
So I go to the window.
Everybody. Here's the thing. I don't do it myself, but like everybody there was happy. Everybody there was like,
they were all blazed.
Yeah.
They were all super high.
No, but everybody there was nice.
Were so high.
They didn't look, thuggish or whatever. It was fun.
Yeah, it was chill.
Other than the thugs that came in.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So I go to the window to sign in, and they have a clipboard, and the girl at the window, she's like, "Oh, where's my pen? And like 30 seconds later, she like hands me this blue like Bic pen, and it's just coated in hash. It's just crusty with hash, and I'm like, sign in. Here's my driver's license. Okay. And then she hits a little button and unlocks the door, and I walk into the dispensary, and they have like all these they have all these like marijuanas everywhere.
All the marijuanas.
All these marijuanas.
Yeah. Can I have one, please?
Let me get one of the marijuanas.
One marijuana, please.
And so I'm looking around and so on and so forth, and I start talking to one of the other girls behind the counter, and I'm like, I'm from Florida. This is my first time in a dispensary. She's like, first time, you get a free blunt with purchase, and I'm like, what?
Is that awesome? Great.
I later found out from Matt Farah that there is like this Californian version of extreme couponing where they just go to new dispensaries every time, and every first time visit you get like free stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like extreme couponing California style.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that? But here's the thing: the whole deal with any substance, if you want to get people to come back, it's like, oh, you get
samples.
Yeah, you get samples. Like you get, here's the first one's free. Gotcha.
Some samples.
Yeah, so just get what would you like? So you got what did you get?
Just a vape.
Okay, a vape. So while you were out getting drugs, after that, then you took the drugs, the illicit substances, back to the hotel, and then slept. And then the next day, we looked at the car, right? Or did we look at the? I can't remember if we looked at the car that day. Oh, I think we saw the car that day. Remember when we went before Matt's podcast? We did a lot that day.
I know, so much.
Okay,
I think we did. We went and just like talked to the guy there.
Okay, all right. So we saw the car. We saw my Lamborghini earlier that day for the very first time. And up until that point, I didn't realize why that car was $80,000. Now, usually, if you look at these cars, they are 160 plus, like 160 for one that needs a little bit of work, has some miles on it. This had a clean title, had 14,000 something miles on it, was in a really famous movie, and it was more than half price off. So it didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But when we got there, everything was made very, very, very apparent, because that car, as you can see on my YouTube channel, extremely rough.
That car needs Jesus.
Yeah, it needs Jesus and all the other
And Odin and Zeus.
yes, and maybe even Gimli. So
Call upon all the gods.
yes. So that car was like the paintwork was super rough. It was painted very haphazardly, like they didn't really mask anything off. It was extremely loud because it had the straight pipe. The seats were not bolted in. It had the passenger seat. Well, the driver's seat was in the passenger seat position, and the driver's seat had some old racing seat in it, neither of which were bolted down. And the car had a clutch that needed redoing. And also, there's a bunch of missing panels. The interior was all jacked up. There was a roll cage, and it had a missing rear window. I mean, this car was as bad as you can ever imagine it. And there's a reason why, Ed Bolian didn't see the car, but he offered less than 80 grand. And I think the car was probably worth less than 80 grand. But for me, for my purposes, it was perfect. I got a really good deal on it. But for anybody else that would have been like, if take this car and then just give it to a shop, the shop's going to be like, oh no, 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 no. Yeah. So we saw the car, and then with the promise to come back the next day with the trailer and all that stuff. And the next day we came back with the trailer and all that stuff. And what happened? Actually, no, not the next day.
It was 2 days after.
2 days after. The next day,
Yeah.
we went to Mr. Robert Dominic's. Robert Dominic's. Yeah. Rob Dom.
We met him at the shop that he has over there in
Yes.
California.
Yeah. So he's a little bit further north.
North-ish.
Yeah. Well, we also had. We keep on going back and forth in timeline, and I wish we wrote this down or remembered it. But
let me check my Instagram and see if anything triggers my memory here.
So no, we don't do it because I remember that. I remember everything. It's just I remember everything after when I'm supposed to remember it. So we had breakfast with Matt Farah. And Sam Smith and Travis Sikulski from Road and Track.
And Alan and Omelet.
And Alan and Omelet were not there. Okay.
Oh, right,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. They were in our hearts. They're always, you guys, you're in our, especially you, Omelet. You're my boy. So I feel like such a jerk for not
seriously. Oh man.
So we had breakfast with them, and that was really cool. And they had breakfast at this place called Bill's.
It's called Malibu Kitchen.
It's called Malibu Kitchen Gourmet. But they call it Bill's because the guy named Bill owns it, and he's super nice. And we had some good sandwiches, and he always brings out really cool stuff. This is where Matt usually has brunch with Spike Ferriston, who is one of the writers of Seinfeld, and also Jerry Seinfeld stops by all the time. And there's always really cool cars in the parking lot. There's vintage cars. You can see like a 300 SL, just in the wild. And
by the way, as an aside, I don't think I could ever live in California, but if I had to, Malibu would be the place.
Sure, if you had an extra $5 million just lying around.
That is not enough.
And you wanted a studio apartment.
You would need like hundreds.
You would need hundreds of millions of dollars?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody in Malibu does not have hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know. Let's just say if you had a few $1 million, you could probably eke by with like a small house or something. It's not going to be on the beach, but it's you can do something.
Either way, holy crap.
Yeah, it was real nice. So then after that, we went to Rob Dom's place and saw his Lamborghini. Because apparently Lamborghinis are just like growing on trees in LA.
He has a Dialbo.
He has a Dialbo, and his is he has a 2001, which has the really good headlights, the 300ZX headlights, which is awesome because my Murcielago's headlights are like $7,000 and his are $150, which I'm not jealous of at all. But his Diablo was clean and it sounded good.
Yep.
And what we did was we brought the trailer with us because at that point we had no idea how wide the car was going to be. Like we Googled it, but
there's aftermarket wheels on this one,
Yeah.
and Body kit?
Side
skirts, are those stock?
No, side skirts are stock.
They are?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the Murcielago, for those that don't know,
Murcielago?
Murcielago, is an extremely wide car, like really wide.
Big
so
booty Judy.
It's 82 inches in the back. In the front, I think it's like 78. But in the back, it's 82 inches. And our trailer measured like 80 or 81.
Yeah.
Something like that between the frame rails. And
Between two frames.
Between two frames was 81 inches. And I was either going to really mess up a Lamborghini or I had to modify the trailer. And we ended up modifying the trailer. So we went to Rob's place and we took out a tape measure. And since the Diablo and the Murcielago I said it right that time. Since the Murcielago have the same basic body, we just measured it and everything sort of fit. Like it would have been a tight squeeze, but everything sort of fit with a little bit of finessing. And when I say finessing, I took out an angle grinder and I just like started hacking away at the frame, which was fun.
Well, it wasn't the frame of the trailer. So you had the flat parts where the wheels go, and then on the outside was this little basically like square stock steel thing.
Honestly, I think that was also kind of part of the frame. It might have been
slightly structural.
Yeah, yes, it's slightly structural. That's I love that term. Like it's slightly structural. It's fine. It's not. You could with a car on there, you could probably see it bend a little bit, but
But it's
okay.
fine. He cut them off with an angle grinder and ground everything down and coat it with some fresh black paint so that it wouldn't rust. And we were like, all right, this is perfect. We're good.
Yeah, it's no problem at all. So the next day, we go to the place with the Lambo, and we get the car, and it's everything that I wanted and more. Mm-hmm. It is a hot pile of garbage,
yes.
but
it runs,
drives. Didn't overheat. Nothing came out the exhaust. Nope. It was totally fine. So
we pull up the truck.
Mm-hmm.
We start the unloading process. We get we seemingly defy all odds and get this Lambo on the trailer.
Yes.
And we were just elated.
Yes.
We were elated. It fit.
Yeah.
We were nowhere close to scraping anything at any point. The front lift worked sometimes.
Yeah. The front lift kind of worked. Yeah.
So, and we were like, well, this is great. We're good. We're done. Here we go. This is it. And then we take a step back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we realize
that it was a real big problem. So when you're towing things, you have to pay attention to a few things. Number one is how much weight you're towing. You don't want to overload the tow hitch, and you don't want to overload the tires and all that stuff. You don't want to be towing, a tank or something when that's not when your car's not rated for it. My dually could tow a lot, so that we weren't worried about that. What we were worried about, however, was something called tongue weight.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like a way to like. Put all W's in the relation. We were worried about the weight and the way the weight was
distributed. So the tongue weight was such that you want more tongue weight in
the front of the trailer.
Well, I mean that's you just want tongue weight. And what I mean by tongue weight is the hitch has to have some weight on it.
You have the truck and you have the trailer. If you have too much weight on the back of the trailer, it makes the trailer lift up, and in turn lifts it off the hitch and or can lift the back of the truck up,
so it makes
not ideal.
It makes the back of the truck go light, and also creates a pendulum effect if you're trying to turn or whatever. It's really unstable.
That is deadly.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you could die.
And so the way that we saw the weight being distributed was not favorable.
No, because one of the issues with this trailer is that it was used as a race car trailer, but the race cars were front engined. And when the engine's in the front, then all the weight usually is in the front. So it doesn't really matter. Like it'll have enough tongue weight. And it also had a big box for tools and spare tires and ramps and all that stuff, which looked really cool, but it just put all the weight further back than we needed it. So with this Lamborghini, it's a very uncommon thing to have on a trailer in any case.
Is it though? I feel like a lot of Lambos are trailer queens.
Not those trailers though.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, trailers aren't made with mid-engine cars in mind. They're usually made with like just a regular whatever you got.
Anyway, so we thought about possibly backing it on. We realized that was not possible.
Yeah, because it was just too wide, and it just wouldn't have made any sense.
And so we had to ditch the trailer that was so graciously given to us by Alan and Omelette from.
Let me tell you how this felt. I just spent the better part of the better part of our day putting tires on twice in the span of 2 days.
24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours. Just twice. We spent a lot of time. I spent $1,000 on new tires. I got Goodyears. I made sure that they were the 5-star ones. They're never going to explode. Doesn't matter what you put on them. They're all rated the highest. And I spent a lot of money. We got the Goodyear spare. We made sure that everything was balanced. Apparently, balancing is not a thing that people do on trailer tires, but I asked them to do it anyway. And we're doing 70, 80 miles an hour, balance tires. So I got all that done, and then we just leave the trailer there. And I mean, that's not even counting the value of the trailer itself.
Yeah.
We got
the time and effort that they put in fixing the trailer up.
So they painted it. They put vinyl wrap on it. They put my face on it. They put Wrench Everyday logo on it. They made sure that the lights all worked and stuff. And then we just leave it there like a bunch of goobers, And what we did, since we didn't drive the car back, we needed a trailer.
Yep.
Thankfully, the guys at the shop. They're doing a movie with a bunch of race cars. I don't know what movie it is, but they had a ton of these NASCAR style race cars there. And I said, hey, listen, we need a trailer. We can't put this car on our trailer because it's dangerous. And I put one foot on the back and my truck is just going up and down. So he's like, well, I got a trailer for one of the race cars. It's back there. You can check it out if you want. I said, okay, let's go check it out. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this was the perfect trailer, the absolute perfect trailer for this particular car. So it was super light. It was, I think it was a homemade trailer, definitely a homemade trailer. Mm-hmm. It was just like a frame, but it was made for a race car, but it was light enough that you could, it's a 2-axle trailer, so it has 4 wheels on it, but you could cart it around yourself. I can lift it up and put it wherever I needed to. The other trailer you couldn't. That was not possible. It was just too heavy, and you needed to get it right. But this you could just kind of load it up yourself. And we're like, okay, this is perfect. It had inboard ramp, so everything was nice and compact. It had a tire rack, and you can drive the car through the tire rack, which meant that we could position the car anywhere we needed.
Very far forward.
Yeah, very far forward, so we can get the optimal placement of that tongue weight. So then all I had to do was
pay $2,000.
Pay $2,000, and I tried to get one of the tires, the wheels and tires, to go on the new tires that I put on the trailer. We tried to get that on the new trailer with the old tires that I just bought, and turns out the lug pattern was different. So we had to run what we brung with the trailer tires, and
leave the brand new tires on the trailer we left in California.
Yeah, and I have no idea what happened to that. If it makes it into the next Fast and Furious movie, you'll see a little trailer with "Here Comes Tavarish" on it. I would love
highly
that.
doubt that.
I highly doubt it, but you never know. You never know. So we got that trailer and loaded the car up, and everything was
perfect.
Yeah, everything was fine. It didn't give us any issues. It was a little bit sketchy getting out of that area, just because I've never, I was real concerned about the integrity of that trailer. The Lamborghini is a heavy car. It's not a race car.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, because we did something after we loaded the car on the trailer.
What do we do? Girl.
We went into that warehouse.
Okay, so you can talk about the warehouse. I'm gonna take a little sip of our sponsored. This episode's sponsored by water, guys. If you're ever thirsty, drink some water. So what were you gonna say?
So the son of the man that owns this business,
son of man,
the Manson, took us into a warehouse where they store movie cars that they've used in the past. We walk past just to kind of set the scene here.
Well, this was at the end of the day when we had.
Well, it wasn't the end of the day; it was the end of the ordeal.
Well, it was the end of our day because we had to go to a podcast. We're doing Salamandrin's podcast,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Just a name drop real quick.
Yeah.
But we had like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
We had like no time at all. But then I said, hey, can I go check out your other stuff? And then the guy goes, yeah, I'll have my son go and show you around. But then...
So to set the scene, we're walking to the warehouse where all these cars are stored. We walk past the Monte Carlo they used in the beginning of Tokyo Drift.
Right, yeah.
Just sitting in the parking lot. No big deal. We get to this warehouse, and it is... The warehouse itself is almost like a movie set.
Yes. It is 100% like a movie set. It's like the set of a horror movie.
Yeah.
Of like some killer clowns are gonna come out from the shadows. And there's like popcorn machines, and it's just all you needed was some off-key carousel music. Yeah.
So we walk into this warehouse, and it is just packed within inches from each other. All of these movie cars like Bumblebee from Transformers, Barricade from Transformers, the To Punish and Enslave, the Mustang Cup car.
Yes, the original Transformers.
There was the Mini Cooper from Austin Powers. There were 3
DeLoreans. One with the Back to the Future stuff. I'm not sure if those are the movie cars. I think it was just Universal's. Maybe they have some shows or whatever, but 2 of them were stock. And I wanted to put an offer on them, so I'm still trying to work that out.
There was a couple of the Ice Chargers from Fast 8.
So one Ice Charger was it was just a shell that they used for maybe stunt work or something like that, but it didn't have any interior or engine or anything. But the second Ice Charger was
complete car.
It was the car.
Yeah.
And it had the EMP. It was the all-wheel drive, LS swap. Like this is the car that you see in all the YouTube videos when people go, "Oh, I didn't know these things about the Fast and Furious movie," when Universal like pays them or something.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a little golf cart gator thing from Jurassic Park that I flipped out on.
Was it Jurassic Park or Jurassic World?
Well, I mean, it was from one of the Jurassic Park movies.
Yes, it had like InGen
it had the
livery on
it. Yeah. It had the Mystery Machine from the Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah, it had a bunch of what is it? One of the Dr. Seuss movies. What the Grinch?
Like Grinch cars.
Yeah, the Grinch cars.
Yeah. And then for me, the pinnacle, what I totally flipped out on. I had no idea what it was until I stared at it for a second. Basically, my 2 favorite movies of all time, in this order. My favorite movie of all time is Blade Runner. My second favorite movie of all time is Blade Runner 2049. Those are my favorite movies ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I look over in the corner and I see Kay's spinner from Blade Runner. Go ahead and look it up.
Yeah. Do you have a picture of this on your Instagram?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so I'll just look.
Or no, actually, it's on my Twitter.
Okay.
And so I squeeze between all these cars, walk through the warehouse as best I can. And I had a moment.
I remember I was like, dude, we gotta go. You're like, give me a second.
Yeah. I was the reason that we were a little late to the podcast.
Oh no. I think we were both the reason for that. I mean,
go do the tweets and replies. Go all the way up.
Okay, tweets and replies. So it was insane. I would have loved to spend a lot of time there.
A lot of time.
Let's see what you got.
Keep going. There it is.
Okay. All right. What's interesting about this is that this.
So this is Deckard's spinner. Or Love's. I think it's either Deckard's or Love's if anyone is a Blade Runner fan.
Yeah.
So this picture from the warehouse. That's not the one that I was freaking out about though.
It was back here, right?
Yeah. Close out of this one and scroll down a little further.
Okay. So what's interesting is that this whole thing looks like the set of, looks like a post-apocalyptic.
Yes.
So it was like the perfect.
It was the perfect setting. Keep going. Right there.
Okay, so this is it. And right next to it, you can see
the Austin Power Mini Cooper.
Well, the Austin Power Mini Cooper, and also this was from the Cuba scene in Fast 8.
Oh, that's what that car is.
Yeah. So,
okay.
so that's
I
one of
didn't
the
recognize
Cuba
it with
cars.
the fenders and hood on.
Yeah, so this is awesome.
And I actually tweeted that at Adam Savage because he is also a huge Blade Runner fan, and he tweeted back at me. He's like, "Where did you find this?" And I told him,
right here. I said,
Yeah.
don't try this. I found something tucked away in the corner.
And then he said, "Where?" He retweeted it and said, "Where?" And then I responded, I said, "DM me." And then he never DM'd me
Well, of course, that's what.
because I didn't want to put it out in the public. We're not going to talk about it, like the actual location. Of what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
says.
because then people are gonna
Yeah.
they might
Be weird.
buy the cars, and I don't
That also.
I don't want that
Yeah,
because
me
I
either.
want to buy them.
I want this.
Yeah, so this is awesome, and what's insane is that like the amount of work that goes into this stuff, like
Yep.
all this stuff is 100% custom.
Yep.
You know, they'll take elements from another car and make it into this shape.
They actually made this a Peugeot
Yeah,
spinner.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
says
yeah.
Peugeot on the hood.
Yeah. Peugeot.
Hood. Peugeot.
Peugeot. But you can see in the other photo you have, you can see the
Part of one of
DeLorean.
the DeLoreans, yeah.
Yeah, one of the DeLoreans. They had 3 in a row right here.
Yep. That's the FRS.
Yes.
That no one can use because it's a prototype and it doesn't
Well,
have a VIN.
it's a BRZ
Or whatever, same thing.
Yeah, that's Subaru gave for the movie. They gave a few of these cars, and this is actually in really good shape. But the problem is you can't title it.
Yeah, no
it's
VIN.
prototype. This is Dom's GTX, the AMC, the AMX or something like that. But this is the one where he has his car harpooned by all the other cars. And then they go, he has 2,000 in that 2,000 horsepower in that car. It's like, try 3,000, try 5. Yeah, so this is the 5,000 horsepower. I don't know what movie this is from.
Me either.
But maybe you guys can tell us. But this place is just
Magical.
it's just
Unreal.
magical. Yeah, it's insane. So that was that. Then we did Alejandro's podcast,
Which was awesome.
it was really good.
That was such a what a great discussion we had. Like legitimately
Yeah.
a great discussion.
We talked for like 2 hours, and we talked about what YouTube means and kind of workflow and his cars, and he was talking. Was hilarious to me. We're talking to him like he's talking about his $2 million car purchases, and I'm like, oh yeah. Of course, you pay $2 million. Yeah, I have no idea what it's like to do even like any sort of fraction of that. It makes no sense. Like I had to basically mortgage my life for this like $180,000 purchase. That was the most money I've ever spent on any car ever.
Yeah.
And I don't foresee me spending more money than that. So he was talking about his Pagani Huayra and then all these other supercars, and it just felt like real small potatoes.
He is the same person off camera as he is on camera. Super genuine, super excited about cars. Same with Farshad, Buddy, the whole team. Like that was, for me, that was one of the highlights because I've been a subscriber to his channel for a long time as well.
Right, yeah.
And just really cool group of dudes. They know what they're doing. They're having a good time while they're doing it.
He has a lot of enthusiasm,
Yes.
and I love that he is. You can tell when somebody isn't genuine.
Correct.
When somebody is like they ham it up for the camera, and then when the camera goes off, they're like they just turn into another person. He did not do that.
Nope.
And it was like he had a lot of enthusiasm. It looked like he cared about what he was talking about.
Absolutely.
And So I mean, he's a great dude. It's weird that he's had some ups and downs, and like with his channel, and anytime there's any changes with his channel, people really react negatively, and he's done stuff like removing comments and whatever, just because a lot of people, maybe it's because some of his viewers are a lot younger and they're a lot more fickle, so they don't understand stuff, but it's I don't know, I had a really good impression of the guy.
Yeah, same.
like he was just a really good dude.
Yep.
But then after the podcast came.
So we go there with we just picked up the Lamborghini. We go straight from the shop to his house to do the podcast. We're both kind of like grungy.
By the way, the first thing that they said is that real?
Yeah, we're both kind of like grungy from working on cars and trailers and all the stuff all day.
Yeah.
So we get there and Alejandro comes out and he sees the Lambo. Is that real?
Yeah. Is that a kit car?
And then like 2 or 3 minutes later, Farghini comes out. Is that real?
Yeah, that's
So first of all, we roll up to this gated neighborhood where he lives.
yeah, like
And,
super,
like, we're
triple gated. You need to give your ID.
We're like behind a whole bunch of like Land Rovers and Jaguars and stuff. We pull up in this like kind of clapped out dually
there goes the neighborhood
with a really clapped out Lambo.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing has tape all over it. My dually has soot all over the side. It's 3 different colors of orange and brown just from stains.
So good.
Yeah, so we get there, we park in his
driveway,
which is very nice.
Up a hill and then up another slight hill to get
like
up into
brick
the driveway.
pavers, all that real nice stuff. And I'm like,
Yep.
I have darkened your doorway with my piece of crap.
So we do the podcast and we say goodbye, and then it takes us 45 minutes to leave. Trying to angle the trailer to get down the hill, trying to angle the trailer to get out the gate correctly, or out of the
So yeah, the way it works is outside of his house there's a hill, and then directly after there's a hill with a
you got his driveway, and then you got
there's the road, and then just comes a really steep hill.
Yeah,
and then and it's also it's a dead end or a cul-de-sac or something like that.
up the hill.
Yeah, up
past
the
the house. Yeah.
So we're trying to back the truck out, trying to get out because he also has like kind of a not a fence, but like he has just like a gate, like these big posts that are made of brick, and I don't want to hit those. So we're trying to back the truck out, but then we also don't want to beach it on the mountain that's behind me, and then we also don't want to like ruin his lawn or anything like that. So it takes us 45 minutes to get it out. And the way we did it is I just decided to
full send
hit the I just hit the hill. And we got a lot of, like, I would say a good few pounds of grass.
And dirt.
And dirt.
Soil,
dirt. Yeah.
It's still in the trailer. Like we brought some of.
Yeah. There's a considerable amount of dirt inside the trailer still. We can't get to it.
Yeah.
But I also hope I didn't mess up his grass too bad. I know I did kind of go over it. Sorry, Alejandro. Just you can bill me or something. So then we got out of there, went home, and then what else did we do? Did we do anything? We were supposed to do something with Hoonigan, but that never panned out.
We were supposed to do something with Hooniverse, and that didn't work out either.
Yeah.
The day afterward is when I did the video of the Type R. That's when you went to see the Adam Carolla's.
Oh yeah, so
garage.
So I went to Adam Carolla's garage. Mm-hmm. Adam wasn't there, but the co-host of CarCast was there, Matt D'Andrea.
Yeah.
And I just went over to say hi. I did take a little bit of footage from their. They have a Paul Newman V8 300ZX, which is very close to the V8 300ZX we got. So just to get some inspiration, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he has a really awesome garage, and I'd love to do, next time we're out there, we'd do CarCast or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's an awesome show to do.
So while you were doing that, I was doing the Type R video.
Well, you were also doing laundry.
I was doing laundry as well. Yes.
Yes.
I didn't bring enough clothes because I'm a genius. I'm real smart.
Yeah.
So then I went and did the Type R video, and I went back up to Malibu.
Yes.
And before I did the video, I stopped at Malibu Kitchen again because I wanted to get another sandwich because holy crap, it's delicious. Mm-hmm. And I see a couple of black Porsches leave as I get there. Mm-hmm. So I go in, I get my sandwich. I go sit outside. I'm chowing down. And Bill, the owner, recognizes me. He comes back out and he said, "Oh, you came back?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm about to go do a video in the canyons. Mm-hmm. I wanted to come up here and get some lunch before I go." He's like, "Oh, you'll never believe what was just here." He's also a big car guy. He has a couple of Porsches. Like even the guy that runs the delis in Malibu, they're all like millionaires. So he pulls out his phone and he shows me a picture of these black Porsches that I saw when I got there. I was like, "Oh yeah, they were leaving just as I got here." He's like, "Yeah, that was Jerry Seinfeld."
Oh, okay.
It was a first gen GT2 RS.
Oh, okay.
Like 90s.
Yeah.
And I was like,
nice.
good.
Okay.
Good. So I was like,
did he ask about me?
Yeah. I was like one traffic light away from bypassing and just like
hey,
being able to say hey to Jerry Seinfeld.
Hey, I know
I'm sure I caught one red light that like ruined that chance. And
I know you're from the TV.
Yeah. And so like you did the Paul Newman thing or the Adam Carolla thing, and then you went to AGX. Avant-Garde Exotics.
Yes.
Which I'm sure if you watch Daily Driven Exotics, you know all about AGX. So I did the video on the way to AGX because I went through all the canyons, took the long route there.
Right.
And so, yeah, we were at AGX, and that's the next part of our story.
And AGX was amazing. I mean, we spent the day with Mark.
Entire day.
Yeah, and which is insane. I mean, he has his whole shop was full, and you could tell that he's a busy guy, but he just gave the whole day to us. And I brought my piece of crap there, so he can make fun of it. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot from him. Him and Mitch really knew what they were talking about. I mean, they knew like all the intricate details. They've taken apart these cars
millions of times.
Yeah. So they also had like really cool cars there. They had a 720S that was like wrapped in this color shifting thing. They had an awesome Lincoln Continental that was like slammed. It was just like on the ground, which just looked awesome. And they had like a Countach. They had like 3 Murciélagos, sorry.
An Aventador Roadster.
That they just put a straight pipe on, and it sounded amazing, and it had fire coming out. So that's all.
And Damon's Huracan, the
tire
slayer,
and the tire slayer was there. Yeah,
which I think he's doing twin turbos on.
Oh, nice. Good luck. It's fun. It sure is great.
Work on your slick talking police officer game because you're going to need it.
I mean, his car was.
It's already pretty fast with the supercharger on it.
I think his car's going to get less loud with turbos on it.
Well, yeah. Turbos are the best mufflers you can buy.
Yeah. The spinny mufflers. So
Uncle Whirly spinning dervish.
Oh, by the way, when I was unloading the Lamborghini, I saw Howie Mandel.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, he was just like, he's just walking across the street, like, okay. And I had just finished stepping in dog crap, so that was.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's a real unusual day that day.
It's America's crumbling infrastructure.
Yes. We need to spend more funds on it. So then after AGX, we did the video, and then I think that was our last day there. Was it our last day there?
Yeah.
Okay, so functionally it was all our last day there. I think we might have done some other stuff and just gotten some food or whatever. Then we went to Olive Garden because when you're there, your family. And it was pretty nice.
Olive Garden hit the spot.
It did.
Like that was probably the best Olive Garden I've had.
Yeah, it was nice. So then we embarked on
the return trip home.
The long journey home.
I love how you said that with like 1,000-yard stare. You're just like. So our first stop from LA was Albuquerque. Albuquerque.
Yeah.
So we get there, and a few hours away, we get caught in a snowstorm in Arizona.
Yeah, the snowstorm was.
No, this is after Albuquerque.
No. This is before.
It is. You're right.
Yes.
Correct. Sorry. We get caught in a snowstorm in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
We get to New Mexico. It's still snowing, somewhat. And then a few hours out from Albuquerque, you start feeling kind of yucky.
Well, here's the thing. And even before the snowstorm, we went to a meteor crater.
Yes. The meteor crater.
Yeah. So
the meatiest of craters.
Yes. So we saw a bunch of signs. I mean, when you go through was it in Arizona?
It was in Arizona, yeah.
So in Arizona, there's just a bunch of signs for various things you can go see.
Roadside attractions.
Because there ain't nothing there. It's just the landscape is very beautiful. You can see mountains and
intense beauty. It's unreal.
Yeah, but after many hours, it just starts all looking the same. But then you see signs for like meteor crater. Go see it. Like,
okay,
we gotta go see it.
Let's go look at a big old hole in the ground.
It's a big old hole in the ground.
Space hole.
Yeah.
Come on down to space hole.
So then we just it's like a 6-mile detour, so it's not anything bad.
Yeah.
And we needed some time to just kind of relax. So we go to this meteor crater, and we get out, and it is freezing.
Yeah, it's very chilly.
Real cold.
Yes.
Real cold.
Like we are walking up to the front door of this place, and there are icicles that have fallen on the stairs.
Yeah. So they had to salt the roads and stuff. Super cold. And we get up there, and we look at it, and it's a big hole in the ground, and wow. And
but see, here's the thing: when you have a giant hole in the ground on a otherwise very flat area, when the wind gets to this giant hole in the ground, it kind of like gets amplified because it hits the side, and then it's like whoosh, like these upward thrusts of frigid.
Yeah, when you're standing on the side of the big giant hole in the ground, you get hit with all of that
very
it's
very
like
cold
highway speed wind that is just wind chill of a million. So then we did that for about 10 minutes, and then we had people out. Oh, so somebody noticed the Lamborghini. They're like, "Oh, nice Lambo." I'm like,
yeah, one of the guys that worked there just somehow knew.
He's like, "What?
How you know we got the?
We parked like a mile away." So
you got the eagle eyes. You got the eagle eye vision.
Yeah. So then I think that was the genesis of what was to come.
The Hyundai Genesis of
the Hyundai Genesis of what's to come. Nobody knows what you're talking about, by the way. But
what do you mean no one knows everyone knows what a Hyundai Genesis is?
You should comment if you know what a Hyundai Genesis. Okay. So we then go on our merry little way, and we get caught in a snowstorm, which was not great. Yeah. Not great, especially at night when there's the roads have not been salted or anything like that. They're just it's just a complete whiteout. And it didn't help that trucks were going by at highway speeds because they don't care. And I'm here with my Lambo, and there was a FJ Cruiser or something in front of us, and he was lighting the path because I couldn't see where the lanes were. And then he gets off on an exit, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're on our own now. So then it's right around that time I start feeling a little funky, and it's my head started hurting, and my throat was a little tingly, and I know what that feels like. It's like coming down with a cold or something like that. By the time we got to Albuquerque, which was a few hours later, I believe, I was
ready to pass out.
I was ready to pass. I was
literally lose consciousness.
Yes, I was ready to pass out. But I got the truck.
We parked in the arch at the front of the hotel.
We parked in front of the door.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I wanted to park in front of the door because I didn't want anybody to steal my car. It's a Lambo. And I said, listen, this car is very expensive. I was like, do you know who I am? First of all, do you know who I am? No, I said, I have an expensive car. Can we just park it here? Just tell the security wherever. They're like, yeah, no problem. And we weren't blocking anybody, so it was fine. I have no idea how I portrayed myself as a normal human being at that point, because the stuff that was in my brain is like the virus that was slowly killing me from the inside was I was very ready to pass out at that point. And I was giving them my card, and I'm like, okay, thank you very much.
You were very calm and docile, seemingly very sick on the outside, but inside your brain was
yes. So then we went up to the room, and I think we ordered food. I said
we did order food.
Yeah. And I said, Andrew, I'm sick. I feel like crap. I have to go to sleep.
Yes.
Or I just got under the covers and I just started going to sleep. And you were like, fine, let's just order food. We ordered food, and you got something and I got something. And then it turns out, boy howdy, was this the best night because you got food poisoning.
I did get food poisoned.
Yes. So you got poisoned from the food.
Yes.
I didn't get poisoned from the food, but I was pretty sick. I had I could tell I had a really high fever. I was just sweating. I was having fever dreams, all that stuff. So we decided to spend an extra day in Albuquerque. Yay!
To just rest and sleep and recoup.
Yeah.
And that it helped.
It did because we got better.
We got better.
So the next day we got a little better. I felt like I wasn't 100%, but I don't think not either of us was 100%, but I think we're good enough for the road. So we spent the day there, ordered more food,
Different food,
not the same, because that would have been dumb,
foolish.
That would have been a bad idea. So then we spent the night again, and that's when I realized that diesel trucks, especially my diesel truck, doesn't like to start in 20-degree weather.
No.
So that was a thing.
Yes.
That was real fun. So I get out and I said, okay, well, sometimes when it's cold, diesels like to take their sweet time or something. So I cycle the key, I leave it in the on position, let the glow plugs do their thing, let them glow and warm up the cylinders. And then after about a minute or so, you want to try to start the truck. And I tried to start it, and nothing happened.
And just kept.
Yeah. Yeah, it tried to catch, but every time it tried to catch, billowing white smoke out of the exhaust. And we were right in front of the lobby.
Of this pretty nice hotel.
Yeah, like a decent hotel, you know? But man, that was interesting. So billowing white smoke, and I was trying to start it, and it wouldn't start. And I was doing this for half an hour, something like that, just off and on, trying to start it. Would not start, and it got to the point where I ran the batteries down. And my batteries are brand new. I bought them brand new.
And your truck has 2 batteries.
2 batteries. They're 2 batteries, and they're each like 1,000 cranking amps each. So there's a lot of power in these batteries. But when it's like 20 degrees outside,
the diesel turns to jello, and jello doesn't flow through fuel lines very well.
Yes,
Therefore,
but also batteries don't have as many cold cranking amps.
Correct.
As many cranking amps rather. Like their efficiency goes down a lot.
Yes.
So what I did is I got a lift to
LYFT,
like an Uber.
like Uber.
Yeah, like Boober,
Like the Uber.
like the Boober. So I got a lift. Well, first I went to the Walmart across the street because the Target across the street. I'm sorry. And sorry,
they didn't have anything.
So I'm sorry to all the Target fans. And the Target was apparently the only Target that didn't have any automotive section at all. So I wanted to get a
2 jump boxes.
Well,
and
yeah,
heat gun.
a battery box and a heat gun because I wanted to heat everything up that I could, and also a battery boxes because I didn't have any juice left. So I ended up getting a lift. We went to Advanced Auto Parts, and I got their battery box, I got 2 battery boxes. And an extension cord, green extension cord that was like 40 feet, and a really cheap heat gun. And all this was like $350. And it was all the cheapest garbage that I could get. And
during this time, I pulled a Top Gear and I let you sort it out. I went back up to the hotel.
No, you went to the hotel and just chilled. You watched videos, or I don't know what you did. So I was there doing the adult stuff and making sure that we can get home on time. But I'm glad you had a great time. So then what I did was I hooked up these battery boxes, which didn't actually do all that much. But then I connected the heat gun to the hotel. So I ran the neon green extension cord, and I put it through where, you know, it was going across the street. Basically, it was so bad. So I was heating up everything in the engine bay, just various points, like the intake manifold, the fuel bowl, all that stuff, and then just trying it.
Every time, all the smoke, just smoking out the entire place.
Yeah, and it was nasty. And then after
it was about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, after a good, I think I was wearing down the battery boxes. I can tell that I was getting a little bit, slower, but then it just roared into life. And then it just started, it did not stop smoking. So it kept smoking, and I'm like, is it going to stop, or like, what's happening? So we pulled off, and we had to wait another, I don't know, half an hour or something just for it to stop smoking, because otherwise we would have just whited out the entire place. But then the truck ran like a dream. Yeah. And we didn't have any problems after that. Even when we stopped in Little Rock the next day, it was still pretty cold. It started fine. I guess it got stage fright that one day, but man, that was tough. One thing that I will mention. This is a long episode, but
that's fine.
This is a long one.
It's an adventure story.
It is an adventure story.
Fellowship of the Lambo.
Think about it like this. We're talking about this for an hour and a half. We lived this for like 2 weeks. This was our life, man. I lived out of my suitcase and my little bag. So the amount of attention that this Lambo got at every single stop was insane. It was. Remember when we stopped? It was like Oklahoma or something, just like in the middle of nowhere. Just like some podunk town. We went off the highway, and there was nothing around for miles.
Yeah.
And I filled up, and then automatically there was 5 people around, and they all wanted to talk about it. They all wanted to take a picture, and their kids were freaking out and like, "Oh my god, look, it's a Lamborghini. Is that a Ferrari? What kind of?" how fast do you go? How much does that cost? I'm like, well, yeah, it's just insane. And every time we stopped for gas in a relatively population dense area, then man, people just came out like crazy.
Unless you were in California, in which case no one cared.
No, nobody cared in California. L.A., it's like, oh, I guess they have one of the movie cars or something. I don't know.
They're just used to it.
Yeah. Well, oh, look, it's an orange Lambo. Wow, it looks like crap. So, and it's fine. But you go to any other place in the country, people are.
They just flip out.
They flip out, like literally. So, in Little Rock, where we stayed, I went to go start the truck up early, and there were already 3 people there when I went to start the truck up, and they came off the highway, and it was like, it's always a dad with like kids that are freaking out. And he said, my kids told me to get off the highway and make a U-turn, and they saw this car and like all this stuff. And at that point, like I don't want them to look at that car because like I see all the imperfections. It has tape all over it. It's dirty.
They don't care.
They don't care, but it's one of those things where like if it was clean, I'd be like, yeah, you want to sit on it? Sit on it. You want to sit in it? But
yeah, you want to walk on it?
you just walk on it, do a backflip, go ahead. Like you want to sit on it, but like here, like I can't say that because it's
right.
like there's like roll cages and stuff, and
Yeah.
But it was insane. So we made the trek all across the country, and then we got to Mr. Edward Bullion's
Edward Bullion.
Bullion. Ed Bullion's house, and again, he has a private woods. He has a private. It's just a castle. That
no private plane.
Not a private plane. But he is one of the most gracious hosts.
He's a cool dude.
Really cool guy. Yep. I ended up doing some VinWiki car stories with
I
him.
did not because
you were
was asleep.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was asleep.
Well, see, in this trip, you did a lot of the really important stuff, like not driving and
then driving the Type R.
And then driving the Type R.
Yep.
And then
buying
not helping to get the truck started.
Buying beef jerky.
Buying beef jerky, you did do that.
And then buying the prickly pear licorice sticks.
So prickly pear twists were an integral part of this. So I'm glad you were there for that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
But also sleeping through the VinWiki stuff. So that was good.
Yeah.
But we did a video with Ed where he went over the Murcielago, and he was like, I mean that he knows that this is the perfect car for me, and he loves this stuff too. He loves seeing like these crappy haggard cars. So that was a really cool thing. And then we went home. It was like 6 hours or something back home. And man, I think it felt good to be home at that point.
It did, but I had a lot of fun on that trip.
I think it was more. It's like it's more fun when it's over. When you look back on it and you go, oh, that was cool.
I was having fun during.
No, I was having fun during too. But I'm saying when you look back on it and like, oh, that was kind of crazy. Like, oh, that was interesting. Like, I'm never gonna do this again. So
I'd do it in a heartbeat, no problem.
No, I'm saying I'm never gonna get to do this again. I don't think there's a reality where there's another Lamborghini that I get that was in this movie.
So funny story. I found a car for sale in L.A. I'm just kidding.
Go on.
Oh, really?
Round 2. So that was it. I'm sure we're forgetting some stuff, and we'll get to it in another podcast, or if you guys want to ask us questions, that's fine too. But it was a really cool experience, and I mean the car is just amazing. I mean it's the most insane car that I've ever had, and it's gonna be crazy.
It is gonna be crazy.
It's very loud.
It is very loud.
It's like I might be doing something else to the exhaust. I'm sending that exhaust back so we can do like a version 2 of that exhaust, so to make it a little more high pitched.
Right on.
Because I just put on another straight pipe exhaust to get rid of the straight pipe exhaust that was on there, just to give it a little bit a different tone. And I got a little bit different tone, but it's not as high pitched as I'd want, so we're gonna do that. But I don't know. Would I do it again? I mean, if I did it again, I would probably have the car shipped. I would probably fly out to go see the car, do whatever I need to do, and not worry about my own truck and my own trailer and all that stuff. Even though now I have a trailer. Even though now
it's a really nice
and it's
super usable trailer.
Yeah, unless you have a car with doors that don't open up, because that actually is a problem on that trailer. You can't actually open doors. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. So that's the the silver lining with that. I ended up spending way more money than I thought. I mean, with hotels, because we had to cancel a few hotels because we stayed in LA longer than we thought. We ended up staying like another 3 days.
Yep.
And then we got sick, so I ended up like canceling on like 3 hotels during the whole thing, and then like those aren't non-refundable, so I just wasted a couple $100. And then the food, the fuel. Fuel was interesting. Fuel was real interesting because fun fact, that truck gets 9 miles to the gallon, whether or not you're towing anything. So it's pretty. You could just it's basically a Prius. It's just a It's just a hybrid. But
if hybrids got 9 miles a gallon and didn't have battery powered parts,
and also could tow thousands of pounds.
Right.
So yeah, it's exactly like a Prius in that.
Yeah.
But I think next time if I did this, I would probably hit up Ford, get a press car, get like a press truck or something. Yeah. And I think it should be, and you can get something like 20 miles per gallon or something like that with a newer truck, and or I would just get it shipped and do the flying out thing. So, but it wouldn't have been as fun.
Nope.
We got to see like the whole country.
Not really the whole country.
No, I mean like from coast to coast. We definitely saw it from coast to coast.
Yeah. Not really from this coast because we're like an hour away from the Atlantic Ocean, but that's neither here nor there. You keep going. Yep, sorry to interrupt.
From the right side to the left side, and I do mean left. So I think that's it. I mean, do you have anything you want to add to as a little footnote to this whole experience?
LA was totally different from what I was expecting, and I really want to go back.
What would you want to go see?
I would want to do stuff with Hoonigan.
Okay.
I would want to do stuff with Jay Leno.
Right.
I would want to do stuff
like Peterson Museum.
I would absolutely do the Peterson Museum. Maybe do a track day at Willow Springs. Just more car stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, LA's car culture is unlike any car culture in the country.
Yeah,
maybe in the world.
Oh, and I would want to hang out with the DDE guys.
Oh, DDE, yeah. So DDE wasn't there when we went, but they want to come here. But I'm just not sure what they want to do, because usually that involves a lot of like tire smoke and stuff like that. And I don't know if I want, because DDE went to Ed Bullion's house and they said, can we take out the Ferrari? And he said, yeah, it's not mine, but just be careful with it. And like, wah, bah, bah. And Ed's like, yeah, you just went nuts. You just went crazy.
I love it.
Yeah, of course. But we just have to mitigate that, because my audience is more mature and expects more highbrow content from me. I don't know. Probably not. So I think that's going to be it. I think that's going to be it for our little story. Thank you for joining us.
It's good to be back.
It is good to be back
in the podcast area,
in the
podcast world,
the podcast zone.
Yeah,
in the P-zone.
In the P-zone.
Yeah. So if you'd like to contact us, you could do so at the social links down below. We will be sure to read them and laugh to ourselves at night. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do with that. If you want to
send us an email at iwrencheveryday@gmail.com.
Are we doing that, or carguystalk at gmail.com? Did you forget our email?
No, we changed it.
I thought it was carguystalk.
It's whatever, man.
This is how much we check our emails, guys. So yes, send us either of those, iWrenchEveryday or carguystalk at gmail.com, and we will hopefully get back to you. But until next time, this is me, Tavarish, for Andrew Howell, reminding you guys, as always, to what do we do now? What do we do? It's been a while.
Wrench every day.
Do that.